Coming up, the Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter distribute rice to more than 60,000 families in Ormoc. We learn how Tzu Chi helped those who live at the prefab community in Caotun put the 9/21 tragedy behind them. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. The Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter has distributed over 60,000 bags of rice to the impoverished residents of Ormoc. Rice distribution this large could not have been successful without the help of many kind-hearted people. Next, we see how Filipino volunteers from all corners of the country gather their strength to help those in need in Leyte Province, Ormoc.
Here in the Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteers are planning to distribute 64,600 bags of rice to the needy residents in Ormoc. Over 100 out-of-town volunteers came to ensure a smooth distribution. To help, the volunteers from Manila caught a ferry at night.
The trip we had to take to get here was difficult, but it's really a good feeling because you know this journey will allow us to help others. We have no idea what we are going to find, but I want to learn and see how they live so we can learn from them.
While the volunteers from Tacloban took a bus to reach Ormoc.
Ganti na rin din to sa tinulong sa amin ng Tzu Chi Foundation, hindi lang
palawak ang pag-ibig para
we need to spread the love in our world so everyone will become happy and enlightened.
For the volunteers hailing from the island of Cebu, they took a 3-hour flight just to help with the rice distribution.
Whenever I attend these kinds of activities, it makes me feel fulfilled. I'm happy that I can do a little to ease the pain of the people.
Contributing her share, the mayor's wife, Violeta Cordilla, provided the family's warehouse for Tzu Chi to store the rice in preparation of the distribution.
I saw Tzu Chi's great love for us, so I in turn want to help them as well.
To ensure the needy residents of the surrounding 110 barangays received their rice vouchers for the distribution, Tzu Chi volunteers held voucher distributions in each barangay.
We're very grateful to the Tzu Chi volunteers for taking the effort to come all the way out here to help us.
This rice voucher from Tzu Chi has given Rosita the ability to save her grocery money for other things.
We were given a deadline to move out of this place by December, but where are we to go? We don't have the money to buy lumber and build another home elsewhere, so it's really difficult for us.
With his rice voucher, Willie now doesn't have to worry about getting his 3 square meals a day. The friendship formed following Typhoon Haiyan 2 years ago is as strong as ever, as Tzu Chi continues to safeguard Ormoc residents' needs in the days ahead.
Tzu Chi's rice distribution continues in the Philippines' Leyte Province. Recently, volunteers arrived in both Tonga and Tanoan to hand out rice from Taiwan to those in need. This relief aid was especially welcoming in Tonga, as the local residents have suffered from a bad harvest lately. Here's more.
Today, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines have arrived in Leyte Province to hold rice distributions in both Tanawan and Tonga cities.
For us Tonga residents, this distribution has helped tremendously as the harvest this season has been really bad.
The local harvest has been bad since Typhoon Haiyan struck the area. Thankfully, the volunteers have come regularly to distribute needed relief throughout the past year or so.
When I see that we have helped so many people, I feel really fulfilled. I want to be like the Tzu Chi volunteers. I want to help others.
Here in the Philippines, the rice from Taiwan warms the stomachs of the poor, while the love from Taiwan warms the hearts of the recipients.
After the 9/21 earthquake in Taiwan, karate coach黄泰吉and his wife Liao Delang closed down their dojo in Taichung and headed to Nantou to instruct economically disadvantaged students at Shuguang Senior High School. This year, the principal of Rengan Junior High School in Nantou County asked Huang and his wife to come help the students at her school. Though the car ride to the school and back is 3 hours for Coach Huang, he not only does this without payment, but has also brought his own equipment for the students to practice with. Let's find out why this couple has been so giving of their time and effort.
Inside the training center, the students' spirited voices echo throughout the room. Each of the students' punches is scrutinized by their coach, Huang Taiji.
Principal Lee called me and asked if I was willing to come to DaAi Junior High to teach her students, as she had students who were interested in the sport. The next day, I came up to check it out.
We don't have the budget, but we have the talent and space. Upon asking, the coach didn't give it a second thought and immediately agreed. He said, no problem, as long as the children want to learn.
Just like that, Coach Huang Taiji and his wife, Liao Delan, took 3 days out of the week to coach the students at DaAi Junior High in Nantou County, despite it being a 3-hour trip each time.
I really think children have limitless ability, but they need a chance to discover their own talents and strength. They can do so with proper training and a good instructor.
Also volunteering their time are the high school students Coach Huang teaches.
By coming here, we are also learning. By teaching them, we are also gaining experience.
Today, an old college friend of Coach Huang, who owns a sports equipment store, has brought some complimentary gifts for the students to practice with, as he had heard of the coach's efforts to help students in remote areas.
Seeing how far he goes to help these students, and knowing that the school is on limited budget, I thought I would do my share to help, as I own a sports equipment store.
Just like a dream come true, these students now have the coach and equipment needed to get into shape.
The coach has driven so far to come teach us. If we don't give it our all in practice, how can we meet his standards?
He is such a good person. He knows we are poor, but he is willing to help us.
Under the couple's guidance, the students at Guang have not only come to excel in karate, but also in their studies. Having helped students from Guang gain self-confidence in life through karate, Coach Huang looks to do the same for the students from DaAi.
You cannot choose what family you were born into, but you can choose your future. For every person, their dream is in front of them. And if you strive for it every day, then it won't be difficult to achieve it.
In the aftermath of the 9/21 earthquake, the Tzu Chi Foundation built prefabricated homes in Nantou's Caotun township to shelter those who have been rendered homeless as a result of the quake. For 5 years, 150 families lived as a community and gradually found a renewed sense of hope and optimism. Former chairman of the prefab community, Zhang Qingnan, said this was largely in part thanks to the Tzu Chi volunteers' endless care. Inspired by the volunteers' selflessness, Zhang's wife, Zhang Ying, later became a Tzu Chi volunteer to pay this love forward to more people.
In these photos, Zhang Qingnan is standing in the courtyard of what was the Great Love prefab housing community in Caotun, Nantou. This piece of land has now been turned into a water park. Zhang still remembers the day Master Zheng Yan first held a blessing ceremony there.
This was our community center. The master hosted blessing ceremonies here on several occasions to help put the quake victims' hearts at ease.
Although the scenery has changed, memories of the past, however, remain fresh in Zhang's mind. As former chairman of the prefab housing community, what Zhang remembers most about his time there was the love and care of Tzu Chi volunteers, which inspired a renewed sense of hope and optimism in residents.
People said a lot of the quake victims committed suicide because they could not deal with the trauma. But nothing like that happened in the almost 5 years we lived at the prefab housing community. It was very peaceful there, and everyone got along. When it came time for us to relocate, we were all very sad to leave.
Touched by the kindness of Tzu Chi volunteers, Zhang's wife, Zhang Ying, later went on to become a Tzu Chi volunteer herself. Thinking back on those years at the prefab community, she remembers going door to door to recruit Tzu Chi members.
I went door to door to hand out leaflets and told residents that if they were keen to sign up as volunteers, they could do so through me. I was driven to do something because I was so inspired by the volunteers.
Fully supporting his wife's endeavors, now that Zhang is retired, besides tending to the crops in his fields, Zhang looks after his grandchild and also drives his wife to and from Tzu Chi events.
If she needs my help or if she's busy, I will always help her out if I have the time.
There are so many people in society who are in need of care and assistance. I am glad to work on behalf of Tzu Chi and to be involved in charity work.
Zhang's two sons were still high school students when the family was staying at the prefab housing community. Zhang's eldest son says he always looked forward to going back to his temporary home during the holidays because of the warm and familial atmosphere.
The loving and familial atmosphere at the prefab housing community made me feel right at home.
16 years on, that same joy and harmony can still be found in Zhang Tingnan's home. Thanks to the Tzu Chi volunteers who pulled them through their darkest hours, this family has learned to cherish every moment and count their blessings.
On the third day of the annual 2015 TIMA convention held in Hualien, Taiwan, TIMA members from Indonesia and Singapore shared their efforts in providing quality medical care to the poor and needy. These TIMA members hope their stories can inspire their fellow counterparts to further contribute to the betterment of society. TIMA Indonesia was established in 2002 and currently has 667 members. To improve residents' quality of life, over the years, local TIMA members have been offering quality medical care and health education across Indonesia. Last year, TIMA Indonesia was awarded the National Medical Dedication Award for its good work.
On November of 2014, TIMA Indonesia received the National Medical Dedication Award. TIMA Indonesia is the first NGO in the country to receive this recognition.
The Singapore International TIMA Forum held in March was well received by members of the public, with several inspired enough to sign up as silent mentors to benefit medical science. TIMA members in Singapore also dedicate themselves to serving the less fortunate in their communities, such as helping care recipients clean up their homes.
We were afraid that our care recipient would change his mind, so we just kept on cleaning for 10 hours. Although we were covered in sweat, all of us were still very happy.
Touched by their fellow counterparts' efforts in carrying out Tzu Chi's philosophy of medicine, TIMA members from central Taiwan made a vow.
In the future, we hope to increase the size of our free clinics because many newly recruited members don't know much about our events. They don't know that our free clinics are always joined by many kind-hearted medical personnel.
Today, TIMA's footsteps can be seen in 24 countries across the globe. In the years to come, TIMA members promise to continue to offer their services where and whenever needed. As we have mentioned before, Tzu Chi is helping 21 schools in southern and eastern Taiwan with their rebuilding projects. Most of these schools are close to 50 years old, and their aging buildings really cannot safely shelter students anymore. With regional governments fighting for budget deficits, waiting for government funding can take at least 10 years. Worried about the student safety, the Tzu Chi Foundation has decided to act immediately. Having visited 5 schools in Pingtung last week, this week we'll be looking at the 9 schools in Taichung, and we first begin by visiting the biggest project in the county,关山Junior High School.
It all starts with chasing after their dream. Before classes begin, these girls have to run 3 kilometers on the bike trail that goes around town. This is a part of daily training routine for the Guanshan Junior High girls basketball team. If someone starts to fall behind, others will reach out and run alongside her.
If I fall behind or am in the last place, they will cheer me on from the side. They tell me that it's alright to be last. At least I crossed the finish line.
I can't just give up on her. If she can't run anymore, I'll push her from behind and run with her.
To get stronger, the training must continue uninterrupted. Regular matches with the boys' team are also part of their training.
The girls' team is tough. We do whatever the boys do. No matter how fast they run, we have to follow them. Basically, we are trained to go up against boys.
Over the past 5 years, the team has participated in national competitions 4 times. All training must be done during their spare time. Full class attendance and satisfactory grades are part of the requirements to be on the team.
If we don't do well in school, we cannot play basketball. Our teachers would tell the coach, so school comes first.
好，最后一句话例是 good for you.
Good for you.
是用中文写起来。
Their teachers are not that demanding. Perhaps they are only asked to memorize 5 English words today before they are allowed to train again.
In order to play basketball, the girls must do well in school.
Those that do well will help those that have fallen behind. Those that have fallen behind will think they should be able to keep up, even in school.
Learning is just the same as training. To do well, one must practice continuously. Currently, the school students attend classes in roofless prefabs set up inside the school's gym as the school is being renovated. On campus, most of the school's buildings have been cordoned off with metal sheets ready to be demolished. Covered with tarps, the school's garages have become temporary storage spaces.
With the construction that is going on, we have very limited space to use as storage.
The 47-year-old school's aging buildings were in desperate need of renovation. They had all been declared unsafe, but were only able to be torn down thanks to Tzu Chi.
3 years ago, we had already completed the evaluation process, but lacked the funding to start the work. According to the county government, the funding wouldn't be available for another 10 years.
As regional governments battle with budget deficits, funding for education is being cut back. In eastern Taiwan, where public resources are the scarcest, students' dropout rate is also the highest. But here at Guanshan, no one has dropped out.
They have their classmates and friends here. With someone to rely on, why would they want to leave?
Everyone at the school is enduring the growing pains together so that the students can enjoy a better learning environment in the future. By staying in school, they have a chance at a better future.
No matter what it is, you should not give up easily. Staying in Taidong, Taiwan, we meet Luye Elementary School teacher Lin Mei Ling to better prepare children in the area for the outside world. Lin, who has been teaching at the school for 16 years, decided to offer free summer tutoring programs. Despite having to teach with limited resources and purchase materials out of her own pocket, Lin remains firm in her decision to continue offering her time and effort. Here's more. Luye Township, Taidong County, a place famous for hosting hot air balloon festivals. However, the increasing popularity of the townships has not brought many changes to the area. Today is the last day of summer break, and students have returned to give the school a thorough cleaning. Children are happy to see their friends again. The Luye Elementary has less than 70 students, and more than half of them are indigenous children.
Half of our students are Han Chinese and half are from indigenous families. We also have a small number of students who are children of new immigrants. The indigenous children, however, are the most disadvantaged.
Helping out alongside her students is Ling Mei Ling, who has been teaching at Luye Elementary for 16 years. Although most of her colleagues want to quit their jobs, Ling has never thought of leaving the school. Ling says the school buildings have stayed the same all these years until this summer. Without money for renovation, the school's activity center remained in dilapidated condition for years until Tzu Chi reached out with a helping hand. While the school's activity center gets a makeover, Ling decided to host her free summer tutoring program inside an abandoned church across the street from the school. The free tutoring program takes place inside a classroom filled with second-hand furniture purchased by Ling Mei Ling. Those participating in the program are indigenous students from Luye and Yong'an elementary schools.
Okay, what did I say about this Chinese idiom? The last two words are referring to length, right? What is the meaning of the first word? Yes, that's right.
This is Zhen Jiajie, who lives with his grandparents. Zhen says his family never taught him how to do his homework.
Before, my teacher always punished me because I never finished writing my summer homework. I won't be punished this year because teacher Lin helped me with questions that I didn't know how to answer.
The free tutoring program starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and offers extracurricular activities such as choir and music. This summer, all the students here have successfully completed their summer homework, something that has never happened in the past.
I'm not familiar with many things, but I've tried to do what I can to help these students. I'm giving children here a chance to compete with others by offering them free tutoring program and music lessons.
In reality, there is a clear divide between urban and rural students. At the end of the day, Lin drives each student back home.
I don't really care about the amount of money that I have to spend on gas. I just hope these students will come to the tutoring sessions. From an educational point of view, I know it'll take a long time before these students can make progress. However, I will just keep on trying.
Bye-bye! Despite lack of resources in the years to come, they will continue to offer tutoring sessions for these students because she knows that one day they will enjoy the fruits of their hard work. For the past 29 years, the International College of Traditional Chinese Medicine of Vancouver in Canada has nurtured countless TCM doctors to make sure the school can continue nurturing doctors that can safeguard both patients' bodies and minds. The founder at the school decided to donate it to Tzu Chi. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.